Hi guys! So we're going to do our mukbang for you today, but we've decided that we're not going to tell the story of how someone threatened to cut my baby out of me, so I'm really sorry if you were expecting that story. But our story times unfortunately have been causing a little backlash with some family members, and we didn't start making these videos to cause drama. We were just telling factual events that have happened in our lives, and that's all we were trying to do. And we don't want to cause any more drama, so we're just gonna X that story out. I'm sorry if you were expecting that. So we're gonna tell the story, well, Luis is gonna tell the story of how he once got 86'd from an army base when he worked a certain job. So if you're interested, stay tuned, and here we go. And we're having, I'm on the potato diet, so I'm having mashed potatoes with gravy and onions and broccoli and mushrooms. This is also what I had for breakfast today. And you're having?
Cucumbers and avocado and crackers.
Yeah, and hot sauce.
Right.
And also, just in case you notice it, I cut my finger today, so sorry if you're squeamish. There's a little bit of blood there, but hopefully it won't be too noticeable. But anyway, here we go.
So, you remember when I told you that when I was 14, I got my first job working at the North County Times, and that's a newspaper in Carlsbad. There were two. There were the North County Times and the San Diego Tribune, and I worked at the North County Times. Here's one day at my high school, there were representatives from the newspaper. Hey, you know, if you want a part-time job or whatever, and so I jumped on that. Anyway, oh, and it was a great deal too. Back in my day, I mean, we're talking 96, 97. You would get 3 months of the newspaper, North County Times, Sundays included, for $14, which was an amazing deal. Because now, you know, the Sunday paper is like $2.50. So that was an awesome deal. I would love to have that deal. And so one day, my manager, his name actually was Louis. He said he had his great idea. So basically, okay, so there was an adult in a van, there would be a minivan, and there'd be 2 rows, well, not a minivan, it's like one of those long vans. There'd be 2 rows of the kids, and in the back space would be all the newspapers, because in addition to having this awesome deal, you would get that day's newspaper for free, right? Which back then I think was like a quarter or something, like 35 cents. And you know, our clipboards, our paperwork for the, so you can sign, you know, your address and everything, and our shirts and our hats. And you know, we would go around the neighborhoods, just selling newspapers, and one day Louis picked us up, and whenever he would pick us up, he would take us to Carl's Jr., you know, pre-vegan, so Carl's Jr., we have a famous store or whatever, and he's like, and that would be like a little preach of like, all right, you know, here, we're going to this neighborhood, you know, da-da-da-da. So anyway, so this day he says, guys, I have a great idea. I have a lead on a market that no one has touched, right? No one has touched this market. And we're all getting excited because, you know, we made money on the commission. And in fact, we would make money every day. Yeah. You know, you'd always go home with some cash in your pocket. So we were really excited, like, oh, really, a lead? And I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I was a pretty good salesman. I was a pretty good salesman. And
puppy dog eyes.
So he told us yes, we're going to be selling in Camp Pendleton, right? The thing is, there's no soliciting in Camp Pendleton, nothing. Well, I mean, we're talking 20 years ago, so I'm not sure if anything's changed now, but back then, no soliciting. So the way that he would work around that is he told us that we would pretend to be from a local church, and we were picking up, we had to go into the base to pick up one of our members, right? So we could, you know, go to church. And he had, you know, so he had his tarp to put over the newspapers and the equipment or whatever, and we had to take off our shirts, North County Times shirts, whatever, and so we went, right? So we're at the gate now, because you're very familiar with bases. There's always a gate and there's security there, and
what my dad was. MPs.
The world was different then. It's pre-2001. But I'm not going to say that they were lenient, but I mean, in hindsight, should they have opened up the vehicle and checked the back? Who knows? I'm not going to say anything about that. Just Louis was there. The officer approached him, asked him what our business was. Louis told him the little spiel. You know, we're from the local church. We're here to pick up one of our members, and he looked at us, and we're very nervous because who knows what's going to happen. Gave us a look, looked at Louis again, and let us through. Okay. He goes, pick up your member, come right back out.
Yeah, they shouldn't have let you in.
Okay. So Louis says, go, this is perfect.
Without a visitor's pass.
Right. So we go in, and he chooses a spot. So now we're getting our shirts on, we're getting our hats on, we're getting little bundles of paper, our clipboards, our pens. He's like, all right, be as fast as possible, make as many sales as you can, right? So I'm going door to door, and even though I was good on any given night, because it's always after school, I would, the average person would get maybe 1 or 2 sales a night, but I would always average like 5 or 6 sales every single day. But within the first hour, I already had like 6 sales, right? It's just awesome. People are taking the papers. They're accepting the subscription. That they're giving me money. And in fact, some of the soldiers even asked, I don't know, a protocol has changed or a policy has changed where we can have newspapers delivered here. And I said, yes, absolutely. We jumped right on it. North County Times cares about our troops, and we want to give you guys the information as quickly as possible. So we jumped as an opportunity, right? So there I am, I'm walking down a street, a sidewalk, there's homes, and so I'm going this way, and across the street, there's more homes. So as I'm walking this way, I see across the street, coming around the corner, it's one of my guys. Just booking it, right? Running as fast as he can, running past me, and I'm looking at him. And I'm thinking nothing of it, right? And then moments later, there's a golf cart. I think it's MP, military police, chasing after him. So, but as the golf cart is driving by, one of the drivers is looking at me, right? He's looking at me, I'm looking at him, looking at me, and so as he's driving by, I start chasing after my friend, because now I know the jig is up, we're in trouble. So eventually, they gather all of us, they take us to this room, or this building, I'm not sure wherever military police do their business, when they conduct the business. Louis was there, and I'm thinking to myself, well, great, what's going to happen? Because I don't know what's going to happen. If we're going to get arrested, what's going to happen to us? Like Louis, I'm like, you're the adult, you knew what you were doing, what's going to happen to us? And we got 86th. But before that, they told Louis, all right, all the money that these soldiers gave you, like, there is no newspaper subscription thing or route in the base. That's no soliciting. So that's a no-no. So what I had to do is I had to go around. Louis had to drive all of us, and they drive me too, to all of the homes that I went to, and give them the money back. But Louis also said, if you can also get today's paper back, that'd be great. But a lot of these guys, and like, no, that's my paper now. So I had to get them the money back, and I made no money that day because that was our day. Our day was at Camp Pendleton, and it was a waste.
Wasted.
Yes.
That's so funny. So they take your picture and everything to see if you to 86 you. That's so funny.
Yeah, all our pictures.
Your boss was so stupid. I don't know what he was thinking.
He was an opportunist, right? Opportunist? He's an opportunity, he went for it.
But it's like, if you know you're not allowed to sell on the base, how are you going to get in every week to deliver the paper? Stupid.
I don't know. I don't know if he was aware of that. Because he came to us saying, I have a lead on an untapped market. That not even a San Diego Tribune has been there.
Oh, but you had to lie to get in, so obviously.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So ridiculous. I've never been 86 from it anywhere.
You know what I used to do sometimes? To convince people to buy subscriptions from me?
What?
Sometimes I would tell them that I wasn't really working for North County Times. I was working for my school. And we're trying to get money together to go to take a trip. Or I would say, does it really help me out because I want to take my sister somewhere? So if I ever saw or if I ever felt the sales slipping from me, I would get personal with them.
The sob story.
Yeah, and you know what? I would say 90% of the time it worked.
Have you guys seen in Office Space, the guy comes up to their house, the apartment to sell, magazines, and
Oh,
he
right.
acts like he acts like he's mentally challenged and that he was on drugs or something. And then they bring him in and try to ask him questions about, I don't know, how to do a scam. And then he was like, I'm not really I'm not really messed up. Like, I was just trying to get you guys to buy magazines.
You know, Carlsbad, at least back then, there were a lot of old people who would be susceptible to a story like that. You know, some kids trying to sell you a newspaper. I mean, what's $14? So.
Well, I don't know. I think a lot of people would say yes to you anyway, just because you're a young kid and you're obviously out there trying to have a job, and they feel bad for you in the first place that you're like 14 trying to work and make money. And
I was so good of a salesman that I won a trip to Vegas. I told you that? I told that story.
You couldn't come, right?
No, I came. I came.
And oh wait, you went and you stayed in Circus? And you never left the hotel? Yeah. I remember.
And I remember seeing back then, now this is like 97 now, not only did I at that time did not know I would eventually end up living here, but I remember us driving down the strip, and if you've been to Vegas, there's a lot of pedestrian bridges that go over the streets. I never saw an escalator outside before. I never saw, you know, when Carlsbad is not really a big place. In fact, it's a village, and in order to go to the mall, you have to drive a ways, and there's a mall that Oceanside and Carlsbad, like, they share, and then so that's like the only place that I ever saw escalators, and you're always indoors. And the fact that it was outdoors, it seems so futuristic to me. Like, oh wow, they have escalators outside. Like, that's unheard of. That's the first thing. That was like the first impression of Vegas that I remember.
My first impression of Vegas was, why are there slot machines in the supermarket? That is so weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I was super judgmental about Vegas and all the weird things, but the good thing about Vegas is everything's open 24 hours pretty much. Almost everything is open 24 hours. And you get used to it after a while. I've been here 20 years now, and now I'm just used to it, and it's home. So anyway, sorry we couldn't tell you the other story we wanted to tell you, but we hope you enjoyed this little story. And that's it. So thanks for watching my little broccoli bites, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye. Told you not to start eating.
Maybe just leave it. It's long. I can't.